Monday, earlier this week, when he was sitting down with the president of Ukraine, apparently the press conference took a turn because the focus was supposed to be on getting to a peace deal between Russia and Ukraine. That's why he invited President Volodymyr Zelensky to come to the White House. And it was a far different tone from the last visit, where he was being berated. And many observers took offense to Mr. J.D. Vance, Vice President of the United States, in the commentary. And he was roughed up. It was very uncomfortable to watch. Y'all remember Volodymyr Zelensky, the president of Ukraine, when he came to the United States a few months ago, and the treatment he received from J.D. Vance and Mr. Trump, and how it was very uncomfortable, and it seemed very, very not called for. Well, he returned on Monday, but in the middle of that press conference, I want you to pay attention to what's being said. In the middle of the press conference about peace and negotiating a peace between Russia and what poor Ukraine, they're asking them, they say land swap. When they're using that term, I don't see them asking Russia to swap any land. They really want Ukraine to give up its sovereignty, give up its proper land, territorial space, cede it back to Russia. That was a part of the USSR back in the day, but has been an independent country. And they want to take the regions of, and I don't want to go into detail, I only have a few more minutes, the Donbass and others, Crimea, and make them officially now part of Russian territory. Basically, Russia will be getting a lot of what is now the country of Ukraine. That's what it seems like the winds at this time during this show are blowing in that direction. And so during this press conference where Mr. Trump, did you guys hear Mr. Trump say that if he got peace in Russia, it would be enough to get him into heaven? Now, people questioning about that now. I saw that also on social media. Let me get the quote. Mr. Trump has said something about getting into heaven if he was able to negotiate the peace deal between Russia and the Ukraine. Now, it is interesting to me that Trump said these words. Now, people were wondering. Now, this is pure speculation. Because I never heard Mr. Trump talk about no heaven and no hell ever before. Y'all ever heard President Trump talk about heaven and religion in that way? He held the Bible upside down. Good afternoon, y'all. Hello. Y'all remember when he went into the square on the national... the man had that Bible upside down. Shout out to everybody watching online. I see you. Pastor David Blissett watching online. The Great Pill Podcast watching online. Smooth Approach watching online. Big up everybody who have the app. You can download the app, Voice of the Caribbean app. Take us wherever you go. If you want to follow me also on Suzette Speaks, 1Z, 2 T's, 1Z. Suzette Speaks with an S on any platform. Follow me on YouTube. Go ahead and log in and subscribe to my YouTube channel. But yeah, I thought I hate to digress. But as a woman of faith myself, I saw this quote from President Trump say he wants to get into heaven for ending the war in Ukraine. And I said, but weird. So people were wondering, is he sick? Me not push no word on him still. I want the president to be healthy. And I want the president to be strong. And I want any president of the United States to be successful. But we've seen what's been happening in the last 7 months, and it's pure chaos. My opinion, not the opinion of this station or its management and ownership. But let me just tell you what Mr. Trump said. This just happened. Now, I was telling you about Mr. Trump wanting to get rid of mail-in ballots across the country and stopping the use of all voting machine, tabulating machines, and only wanting to do paper ballots and no early voting, no mail-in voting. No mail-in voting. And whether he has the power to do that. And I'm telling you right now, according to legal scholars, I was just reading you a wonderful article from NPR. You can look it up for yourself, that according to this Constitution, the power of elections and running elections was purposefully taken out of the hands of the executive branch. The president should not, and according to the Federalist Papers, as we're going over some of the history written by Alexander Hamilton, the Federalist Papers are part of U.S. history. We're in support of the development of a republic and how a constitution should be formed and what should be included. Very interesting part of history. The founding fathers were basically writing out their ideas, writing it out, trying to spell out what is good for the country, what is not good for the country. How do we sustain a democracy? We had some thinkers back in the day. We have some thinkers now too. And those of you who are thinking about how can we preserve democracy, let me just read this. Okay, but back to Trump and heaven. Me not have no heaven. God help me. I want to see the pearly gates one day. Let me just read to you what it said. According to USA Today, Trump wants to go to heaven for ending the war in Ukraine. That is the title of the article, not my words. According to the USA Today's article published 5 hours ago, this morning at 9, Trump wants to go to heaven for ending the war in Ukraine. But what religion is he? Now, the quote, President Donald Trump, according to USA Today, said he hoped helping end the war between Ukraine and Russia would help boost his chances of getting into heaven. This is a real quote. He was on Fox and Friends, y'all. Boy, in an August 19th appearance on Fox and Friends, Fox News, the show is called Fox and Friends, Trump was talking about his phone call to President Vladimir Putin after the meeting with Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky and other European leaders at the White House on Monday. And quote, on Fox and Friends, in this interview, Mr. Trump said, quote, I want to end it. You know, we're not losing American lives, we're losing Russian and Ukrainian, mostly soldiers, Trump said. Quote, he continued, and I quote, I want to try and get to heaven if possible. I'm hearing I'm not doing well. I'm really at the bottom of the totem pole. But if I can get to heaven, this will be one of the reasons. Boy, you know, you'll hear your president. Do you hear the quote? I'm going to read it again. Mr. Trump, in an interview by phone with Fox News, a program called Fox and Friends, after he had done the meeting with the Ukrainian president, during the meeting, he stopped to call the president of Russia, Russian President Vladimir Putin, during the meeting, like I don't know who have the upper hand in this one. And so in the interview with Fox and Friends, Mr. Trump said, quote, this happened on August 19th. I want to end it, you know. We're not losing American lives. We're losing Russian and Ukrainian, mostly soldiers, Trump said. He continued, and I quote from USA Today, I want to try and get to heaven if possible. I'm hearing I'm not doing well. I'm really at the bottom of the totem pole. But if I can get to heaven, this will be one of the reasons. Hello, somebody. He then went on to talk about saving lives with six actual 7-piece deals. The USA Today say they counted 5, but this is what Mr. Trump say. He's negotiated 6 to 7-piece deals. Trump has said he was, quote, saved by God to make America great again. In the July, remember the assassination attempt, in July 2024, the assassination attempt when the bullet so-called allegedly grazed his ear. Y'all remember that? Well, what they say in the USA Today article is questioning whether Mr. Trump is Christian. What is he? What religion is Trump? I didn't know this. I was just reading. I think you might find it interesting. So according to the USA Today, an article published just a few hours ago, Trump once identified as Presbyterian. Did you know this? But in 2020, he told religious news service he began considering himself non-denominational, like a non-denominational Christian. First Lady Melania Trump, however, made news in 2017 when she met the late Pope Francis and revealed she was Catholic when asking the pontiff to bless her rosary beads. Who knew this? Now, Trump said the following on August 19th, like I said, on Fox and Friends, discussing efforts to achieve peace between Ukraine and Russia. Quote, I want to try to get to heaven if possible. I'm hearing I'm not doing well. I'm really at the bottom of the totem pole. But if I can get to heaven, this will be one of the reasons. Now, listen, we all contemplate. Now, some people saying, is the man sick? I'm not wishing that on anybody. I'm just questioning, and I'm telling you what's being discussed on the social platforms. People asking, is he sick? Because you know when people start talking about heaven, I want to get to heaven, you wonder. You wonder. I'm not saying that is an indication. I don't think there's any evidence yet. We just knew about the ankles. He told us about the swollen feet and the circulatory issues he had presented because he was sitting down and people noticed his ankles were swollen. But it's kind of serious talk. It's joking, but it's serious. You know what I'm saying? People be joking, but every time, they say out of the mouth the heart speaks. It's very interesting stuff. Me, I ain't never heard Mr. Trump talk about nothing about no heaven. Help us all, God. Who am I? But a piece of clay also trying to get there myself. Anyway, some food for thought today. I hope you guys enjoyed the show. This is the Suzette Speaks Show live. I come to you live every Thursday and Friday from 1 p.m. to 2 p.m. Y'all pray for the president. If you don't do nothing else, pray for him. But also pay attention and start to get active. Attend local civic meetings, attend clubs. There's so many places that you can still have an impact. Don't get worried. Don't get disheartened. I want to encourage you today. Thank you, everybody, for listening. Thank you to everybody watching online. Suzette Speaks Show comes to you live every Thursday and Friday from 1 p.m. to 2 p.m. right here on the Voice of the Caribbean. I want to big up everybody for listening, everybody watching online. Come back tomorrow, y'all. I have a lot more to say, and I appreciate you following me and Voice of the Caribbean on all platforms. Have a beautiful day.
For over the last 30 years, personal injury lawyer Sam Rotinsky have been helping the Florida clients with personal injury, workers' compensation, medical malpractice, negligence,